Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing very well. Okay, so quickly come to the topic. So I will be covering the last week current affair related to geography. Okay, so let's go to the topic that I will be discussing. So these are the topics that were in the news and were the highlight of the week. Some of the topics were not directly related to the geography, but they were important because the area around them was important, or the topic that can link to them is related to the geography. So let's discuss what are the topics that I will be discussing. So this is the important main topic, Zojila tunnel breakthrough. Okay, then there was more than two or three fire incidences happened in capital. Then we have this Siang upper multipurpose project. Okay, so there was a news of vandalism done by the people in against to the uh, in against to the people who were actually in tandem with the government view regarding the project. Then I will discuss this in Digha Jagannath temple where the West Bengal government agreed to drop the name DHAM. Then I will discuss this Shiv Shakti point soil and which were found chemically close to the lunar meteorite. Okay, that was stuck in the Antarctica region. So I will discussing the geography related to the Antarctica. Then this Amarnath Yatra security boost. So I will be discussing the geography around the Kashmir, around the Amarnath region, and I will just quickly go through the general geography of the Kashmir. Then we have World Environment Day on 5 June. Okay. Then this important news was there that the population of Nilgiri Tar rises to 1364. I will also discuss the FIFA World Cup location if time permits. And then this is one of the important, another very small news, but why I choose because it related to the Central African Republic and in UPSC 2026 we have one MCQ related to the region that is more or less just south of the Central African Republic. So my point is that we must keep discussing the geography of world and as well as India, so that by the time the next year prelims came, we covered almost all the regions of group. Okay, so we don't have to look for the other sources. So that's why this news was important. So let's quickly go one by one. Okay, so Zojila tunnel breakthrough. So what happened, actually go this is breakthrough. Why? Because the both end of Zojila tunnel is now open. And about the Zojila tunnel, it is the longest single tube bi-directional road tunnel at the highest altitude. Okay, it is located in the Zojila region. I will discussing where it is, and it is between the Baltal and the Minamarg in the Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. So it is a strategically important frontier corridor. Why it is frontier corridor? Because the LOC passes just above the this Zojila. So you will have Kargil, then you will have Zojila and the Dras region. So just above the this Zojila tunnel, we will have the LOC. So this will also support the quick movement of the our armed forces, and also provide the alternate route to the this Kargil Ladakh region. Earlier, the only route was through the Srinagar, Jammu Srinagar route. Okay, so earlier route was like this. If I discuss this like this, so if I make, see, this is the LOC, like here we have the Kargil. Okay, we have Srinagar. So earlier the movement of the troop was around this only. Okay, okay. Now after this tunnel has been made, the it can come from the movement can come from the Leh Ladakh region as well. Okay, so that's why this is strategically important frontier corridor. Earlier it was also possible, but the time was so much that there was no actual benefit. Okay, and why it is important, why there was a need to make this tunnel, because the tunnel circumvent the avalanche prone Satan Nala. Okay, so if there was, this is the tunnel, if this is the tunnel, okay, earlier the route was like here. Okay, so this route was avalanche, this route was actually prone to the avalanche. Okay, here the small glacier fed stream named as Setan Nala, ensuring and the incident was prone, this region was prone to the avalanche. That's why the actually road was actually closed for 6 months a year. Okay, so let's quickly go to the tunnel. Now this is important. What are the methodology that has been applied in making this tunnel? So the methodology applied was the new Austrian tunneling method. Okay, so this is known as NATM, new Austrian tunneling method. Okay, so earlier Heathrow tunnel. Okay, it was also made through new Austrian tunneling method. Okay, so what it actually does, it actually excavates sequentially, so it doesn't just keep on drilling. It drill, if this is the portion, okay, it drill, if it drills the this part, okay, the suppose this drill the this part, okay, it will first give it the strength. It will just fix all the necessary structural element in this portion, then it will go to the next section. That's why it is sequential excavation method. And there was another method that has been applied in this. It is known as sprayed concrete lining method. So what is this? In this method, what you do, uh, see, suppose you have made this section, okay, this is the tunnel that you have excavated, this is the inner lining. Now what you will do, after excavation, you spray the concrete here, you spray the concrete all over the place. Okay, so this concrete will actually dry up immediately and close the gap, and there will be no further weak point inside the tunnel. Okay, so this is the sprayed concrete lining method. Now what is the economic advantage of this method is that we employ the, we it actually use the necessary strengthen techniques, and it also uses the inherent geological strength that is available in the surrounding rock. So actually what it will do, it will it will use the inherent geological strength available in the surrounding rock mass to stabilize the tunnel wherever possible, rather than reinforcing the entire tunnel. Okay, so this is also important aspect. Now in Himalayas, tunneling is highly unpredictable. Why? Because the mountains are young, active, and full of different rock types. I will discuss the different rock type and what is the impact of uh, the characteristic of the rock types found in the Himalaya in the next slide only. Okay, so now we will go to the next section. What are the important thing that kept in mind while tunneling through the NTM method? Okay, so most of the rocks in the Himalayas are made from the Tethys Sea. So this is sedimentary in nature, and they are actually the clay, mud, and the sandstone. Okay, they are sedimentary in nature, and when they are sedimentary in nature, they have the geological memory of being clay and mud, and they would dissolve once exposed and in contact with water. Okay, so what will happen if they are clay stone, mud stone, and the silt stone? So when they will come in the contact with the water, they will just melt, and they will just dissolve in the water, and it will actually make the tunnel crumble. Okay, so this is the problem. Another important thing is, it under the also under the huge weight of mountain, they would show slaking effect and would crumble and slip. So what is slaking effect? Like if this is the huge mountain weight, and here you will have the small material, okay, that have the geological memory of clay. What it will do, it will just slip out. It will just slip out and just drop down, and it will clumber the process. Okay, it will clumber not the process, it will clumber the tunnel. Okay, similarly the metamorphic form of clay, mud and sandstone, like the phyllites and the seeds, they will act as a plastic under the pressure and squeeze under the pressure. When they squeeze under the pressure, it will actually turn into this the wall will, they will squeeze and the wall will collapse around the tunnel. Okay, so this is the another problem that we will face, and that the tech uh, that any engineering solution will have to encounter all these problems. Okay, so these are the problems when we will tunnel in the sedimentary or the metamorphic form of the rocks, which have their parent rocks in the form of clay, mud and sand. Okay, so these are the important further in the Himalayan region, they have this fault line as well. So what they will do, if they find certain fault, they will first fill it with the concrete. Okay, they will strengthen this these, and they will make it strong by using different technical method. Okay, and then they will continue. Next, what are the innovative solutions? So these are the innovative solution. If there is a if there is a in case of squeezing ground, they will just make lattice girder. What is lattice girder? They will thus provide the girder in the form of lattice. Okay, this is the lattice girder, like in form of lantern. So this is the lattice girder, and they will apply this lattice girder, and it will provide the strength and protect the ground to be squeezed. Okay, so this is how they will work. Okay, and they also do one thing, they actually redistribute the stress around the tunnel area. So actually there will be no there will not be a certain point or certain area where the whole pressure will be on the weak rock. Okay, so this is the one problem. Second is when there is a problem of this dissolve or the water problem, so they will first draw out all the water from different methods, and they, as soon as the excavation start, they will just finish it with the cement. They will just cement it and stopped the normal weak rocks, uh, to, they will just stop the normal exposed weak rocks to come with the to come in contact with the water. Okay, so they will do this. Then this I have already told you, they will just ground freezing, they will just do the this filling of the cracks here. Okay, now geography of the region of this tunnel. So this is important. So this is the NH1 region, this is NH1. Okay, here you have the Sonmarg. Okay, here you have the Myanmar. Okay, so this is in Jammu and Kashmir, this is in the Leh Ladakh. Okay, here you have the Zojila tunnel. Okay, so this is western entrance, this is the eastern entrance. Okay, total length is 13.15 kilometer. Okay, or this region that I have already told you, this region is actually avalanche prone region. Okay, so this tunnel is actually circumnavigate from this area. Now this is the actual region where you will find. So here you have the Zojila Tunnel west point, this place, and this is the eastern point. So this is the, and this is the, it will go inside. So this is the Zojila Tunnel. Now you can see this is the glacier. So avalanche can happen from anywhere. Okay, this is the old route. This route is the old route. This. So this whole region is actually avalanche prone. So they just circumnavigate and this tunnel is made. Okay. Now what are the important regions around this area is in the north south we have the Devsai Hill. This is the Devsai National Park here. Okay. Then somewhere here we have Harmukh Parvat. On the southwestern side we have the Dachigam. We have the Dachigam National Park. Then in the east, in the southern and the southern east region, we have the Kishtwar National Park. Then here we have in the Ladakh region, we have the Hamish National Park. Okay, so these are the topology around the Zojila Tunnel. Now next, the general quick look at the Kashmiri geography. So start with the Indus River. So this is the Indus River. We have this. This is the Indus River, and now look at its tributary. So here we have the Janskar River. Here we have the Siok River. Okay, Nubra River. Okay, we have Gilgit River. This is actually a Hunja River. Hunja River. Okay, it met Gilgit just before Gilgit met through the Indus River. So these both river are actually comes from the Karakoram range. Okay, then here we have the, okay, so here we have the Chenab river. This is Chenab river. Okay, this river is Mursudar river. Mursudar river. This is the Mursudar. Mursudar river is the biggest Indian tributary of Chenab. Then we have here is the Jhelum river in the Srinagar area. Okay, this is Dal and Buller Lake. This is actually, this is little bit wrong here. We have here the, see, this is the Jhelum river. Okay, Jhelum river passes through the Dal Lake. Okay, here we have the Kishan Ganga river. Kishan Ganga river, and the linkage between this is Kishan Ganga river project. Okay, and Kishan Ganga river is known as the Neelam river in the Pakistan. So this is it. Then here we have the Mangra reservoir. Okay, this is in POK. Okay, okay, anything else that we can see? Here we have a small river. This is the Jambu Tavi river. This is the Tavi river. It met this Chenab river outside India in Pakistan. Okay, so this is the important topography and geography of Kashmir. Okay. So next important topic was the 71. There was a news that Delhi data center fire may have destroyed equipment worth hundreds of crores. Okay, so this was another news. Then there was a news in the hotel restaurant. Okay, then we have the one more fire incident took place in the commercial area of Delhi. So it was important, and I will look it into the, I will look at these incidents not from the uh, administrative lookout, but I will look at from the main disaster point of view. So because in mains the question can come directly from this aspect, that what should be done and what has been at place, what is not employed in real situation, what are the important things that one should have in the building before taking the fire approval or the NOC from the fire department. So what are the important regions and that cause this fire? First, in the basement, in most of the one of the building, there was a storage of inflammable material, like there was a storage of paints. Okay, then we have the storage of this perfumes. Okay, then there was incidence of electric overloading that caused the this sparking and start the fire. Then we have the violation of rules. This is the almost ubiquitous region in leading cause of fire. In Delhi country, the fire hydrants and smoke detectors are only mandatory for commercial buildings and those with the height of 15 meters or above. Okay, so if the building is commercial or if the height of the building is more than 15 meters, then there was a mandatory provision of having fire hydrant or the smoke detectors in the building. Now if I say 15 meters, so it will actually for 3 meters there is a one floor. Okay, if the height is around 9 to 10 feet, so for 15 meter you have five floor buildings. Okay, now Delhi Fire Department handles over 20,000 fire calls and city sees 250 to 300 deaths due to fire every year. In the last 6 months alone, over 60 people have lost their lives in the fire tragedy. Now this is the fact. Okay, this you can use in the essay as well if the essay you are writing related to the man-made disasters. Okay, now the government is planning to make smoke detectors, fire extinguisher and this fire hydrant as a mandatory in homes as well. Okay, now what are the important things that are to be made, that are to be installed in buildings before taking fire NOC? See, I can skip this topic, but it is important for you to know all these things, because if the 10% or the 15% remain in your mind after watching this video, it will help you in eliminating one of the options, or it will help you making one of the uh, unique dimension while writing your mains answer. Okay, so what are the important thing that you need to know? Like, see, building height. Okay, so this is the building height, and building height is calculated from the ground up to where the fire equipment can be uh, a fire if you in layman language I say, if I the ground level will be measured from the plane up to where the fire vehicle can come, fire grade vehicle can come. So this is the ground level, because fire vehicle cannot go upside. Okay, so this is the ground level, and from there the height will be calculated. Okay, now this region from point A to point C, this is the region. Okay, this region is critical. This region should be minimized, because from here you will find the exit, and in this region, there is a risk. Okay, so this region is known as the C2B. This is the dead end. Okay, so this region in every building should be minimized. Okay, then there will be provisions for emergency lighting. Now all these provisions are in there in the NASA Building Code 2016 as well. Okay, so emergency lighting should be there. So in the case of fire, if all normal lights goes off, emergency lights should be running smoothly. Okay, next you will have the evacuation lift. Okay, then you have the different fireman's lift. Okay, that can be used by the firemen as well as in case of some stranded people in the building. You will have fire resistant rating. Okay, so this will actually rate any building with respect to the materials that is used in the building, and the materials fire resistant property. So this is important, fire resistance rating. Then we will have the area ratio. More area ratio, it means the more room density, more population density, and in case of fire there will be more chances of more casualty. Now generally the area ratio is kept under 3. Now uh, in government, like in UP, they are increasing the floor area ratio up to the 7. Okay. Now they are actually linking the floor area ratio to the width of the adjacent road. So if there is enough space on the road, they are actually allowing the builders to make the more floor, and on the basis of payment. See, there are certain numbers of floor that are actually allowed up to the in the occupation certificate. Above than those floors, builder has to pay. So if there is a OC of 10 floor, and uh, allowable limit is 20, so builder has to pay for the 10 to 20. Okay. So this is important. Floor area ratio should be minimum, and if they are increasing floor area ratio, there should be enough precautions that should be placed in the law before giving them the fire NOC. Okay. And in case of dense area and unorganized area, uh, all these things doesn't matter if the fire broke out. Okay. Now this is also important. So this Siang upper multipurpose project, this is the another important topic. So what is this important? Because you can see this is the CM of Arunachal Pradesh, Prema Khandu. He is Prema Khandu, CM of Arunachal Pradesh. He is actually making the pre-feasibility report signed with the local people representing the this Siang region. Okay, especially the Geku area, and the actual village name is Komkar village in Geku region, or these people are from the Komkar village. Okay, so this is the Siang upper multipurpose project. Okay, and what was the news? In news, there was several unrest and vandalism erupted in Geku village located in the upper Siang district of Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, the violence broke out directly due to the growing local opposition against the Siang upper multipurpose project, and it caused damage to the up to the around 30 houses belonging to the local villagers, and as well as they targeted the MLA home, who was the leader in getting all these papers signed by the people. Okay, so why this project is so controversial now? See, there was Indian Institute of Defense and Strategic Studies. Now its name is after the late Defense Minister Manohar Parrikar. It has actually it has studied the strategic importance of Upper Siang, and according to this project, why it is important? Because China is making a dam, and where it is making dam, it is making dam just 30 kilometer above, like this place. If you can see, I can make, this is the Arunachal Pradesh, and here comes, this is the Brahmaputra river, and somewhere here China is planning to make a 60,000 megawatt hydroelectric project. Okay, this place is known as the Medoc County. Okay, so India is planning this Siang project here, Upper Siang project, to counter the this hydroelectric project, because if there will be a reservoir here, China can use it as a water bomb, and in times of flood, it can actually open open the walls of the door of the dams, and it can actually make the flood in the area of lower riparian state like India. Okay, and in case of summer, it will actually close the door, and it can cause the situation of famine in the region, and it can directly affect the agriculture and the people safety in the uh, Arunachal Pradesh and Assam. Okay, so now let's go deeply in the region. So this was the study that I have made. So actually, what China is trying to do. It is actually making the waters shift from its western area to the eastern area. So these are the routes. You can see these are the routes. You can see it is linking like this. It is linking Yarlung River. This is this is one of the tributary of Yarlung the Sangpo River. See Yarlung River, there are two or three tributary of Brahmaputra, which has its name as Yarlung. Yarlung the Sangpo is actual mainstream of the Brahmaputra River, and it is known as in the Tibet region. Okay, so they are linking these different. These are the linking, and they are actually shifting the whole huge amount of water from its western river to the eastern China, where the most of the population lives. Okay, so this is actually the south north division project, which will be 1000 kilometer in length. Okay, now where it is, this is the Midok County. This is the boundary. This is the border between the India and China, and here we have the Geku Blaze. Here India is planning to make its dam. Okay, the river flows through like this. Okay, so India is making dam here, and China is already starting making dam here. Okay, so this is the region, you can see. Okay, now let's quickly look at the tributary of and the little bit general revision of the Brahmaputra river. So Brahmaputra is known as the Yalung Tsangpo in the Tibet. So in Tibet, there is a Lhasa river. Okay, then it will go in the east direction only in the, then it will just go upside, and then it will come like this in the Indian region. So here where it turns upward, this is known as the region as the pi region, PIE or PEI. Okay, not important. From here in this region we have the George, in the deep George, actually not normal or deep George. It will go and then it will again come down. So somewhere here we have the Namcha Barwa peak. Okay, so from there it turns down. This is the Namcha Barwa region. Okay, in India it is known as the, it enters as a Siang river. See, this is the Siang river. This is the Siang. Okay, it will meet with the Divang river here, and then we will have the Lohit river. Okay, when these river meet, it becomes the Brahmaputra river. Okay, now here we have the this, here we have the Tiali dam, Tiali 2 hydropower project. It is also in the news. Okay, here we have, somewhere here we have the, this is the region. Okay, Bhupen Hazarika dam is somewhere around here on the this Lohit river only. Here we have the Bhupen Hazarika Setu. Okay, Okay, so this is the Siang. Siang meet with Divang and the Lohit, and then it will become the Brahmaputra. Okay, then it will enters into the Assam. From if I talk about the left bank tributary, so this is the Budi Diang. Then we have the Dikho river. Okay, we have the Dhansri river. Then we have the Kopli river. Okay, then on the right hand side tributary, we have this Subansiri. Okay, then we have this Barini river. Then here we have the Manas river. Then we have the Sankos river. Here we have the Tista river. So Tista, Sankos, Manas, Barini, Subansiri, Siang, Devang, Rohit, Budi Devang. Then we have the Dikho, we have the Dhansri and the Kopli river. These are the important tributaries of Brahmaputra. Okay. So in Bangladesh, it crosses the border as the Jamuna. Okay, it eventually merging with the Padma, Ganga. So in Ganga is known as the Padma in Bangladesh, and Brahmaputra is known as the Jamuna. Okay, and then after they meet with each other, they just uh, flows out in the Bay of Bengal after making huge delta around the Sundarban region. Okay, so this is the important tributaries of this Brahmaputra. Now, uh, what we need to understand here, see, this region is mountainous region. Okay, so all these rivers like so all these rivers, be it Sankos, Sankos, Manas, Baranadi, Barali, Subansiri, Divang. Okay, all these rivers bring lot of sand and mud with them. Okay, so what happened due to influx of huge amount of this sand and mud and the other deposits from the upper side, Brahmaputra tend to shift towards the this lower side. So what happened? Brahmaputra is quickly moving towards lower side. Like if this is the course, it is going downside. Okay, because this region is keep on depositing by the mud and the deposits that is being deposited by these mountainous river. Okay, so actually, this region, this point is important that the shifting of the Brahmaputra river is towards the Bangladesh or the southern side because of the huge amount of sediments that is being thrown in from the northern side by these mountainous rivers. Okay. Now the fourth point is West Bengal agrees to drop dham from Digha Jagannath temple. Okay. Now this is also important. Okay, so earlier this uh, temple is made, and the name of the temple was Sri Digha Jagannath Dham Temple. So the Odisha government actually protest and complain about it, and very recently after the regime change, under the Subendu Adhikari, under the Subendu Adhikari as the CM, West Bengal actually accepted the grievances of Odisha government, and the now new name will be the Sri Jagannath Cultural Center, the whole complex. Okay, and the inner shrine name will be the Sri Jagannath Dev Mandir. Okay, it is located on the vibrant beach town of Digha in the Purv Mednipur district at the southern edge of the West Bengal. So where it is located here, you can see this is the border area. Okay, so here the temple, and this is the Digha beach. Okay, and what are the stones that is made from? That is, this temple is made from Basi Paharpur and the red sandstone. Okay. Next, what is the cultural input of this cultural aspect and the architecture aspect of this temple is? It is typically made of Kalingan architecture style. So they have this Dula concept. So what is Dula concept? This is the Lekha Dul. Okay. Then we have the Garbhagriha. Here you will have the shrine. Then we have the Rekha Dul. This is known as the Pida Duel. What does this mean? Uh, this is the separate space for the um, that the pilgrims those come and they will wait and they will do all the rites, rituals and the rites by sitting here. Okay, then here we have the Khakra duel. Okay, and most of the times the axis is west to east. So we have the Lingaraj temple, Bhubaneswar. Okay, so this is the Rekha duel. Okay, then we will have the Puri temple. So this is the Rekha duel. These two known as the Pida duel. Okay, here we have the Rajrani temple. Okay, so here you will have here the Khakhada duel and the this Rekha duel, both Rajrani temple. Then this is the Digha temple. This is the Digha temple. So it will have everything. The Rekha duel, these are the Pida duel, and here we have the Khakhara duel. Okay. So these temples are important, and one question can be come from the this concept as well. Next is the location of Digha temple. This is the Digha temple, just above the border between the this is the border. Okay. Now here, just look at the location of all these things. So we have the Simlipa Tiger Reserve, and we have Kuldiya Wildlife Sanctuary here. Okay. Then we have the Kamakhya Forest Range. We can see this is Vitarkarnaka. Okay. This is small island that you can see. This is the Abdul Kalam Island. Abdul Kalam Island. Okay. This is the Hooghly River. Okay. This is the Sundarban and the Delta. Okay. So this is the locality around the uh, eastern coast near the Digha temple. Now the next point is Shiv Shakti point swell chemically close to the lunar meteorite that hit Antarctica. Now, very recently, the Chandrayaan 3 probe uh, determined, and they have made that the data collected by the India's moon mission, and it has established a close chemical relationship between the soil found at the Shiv Shakti point. What is Shiv Shakti point? It is the landing site. It is the landing site of the Vikram lander. So here, the Vikram lander, and then here the rover. This is the movement of Vikram rover. So Vikram rover go like this, comes like this, and go like this, and it is now going like this. Currently it is placed as the here Pragyan rover. So we have the Vikram lander and Pragyan rover. So they have established the chemical relationship that the soil found at the Shiv Shakti point. Okay, the landing site near the moon's south pole. It is closely related to the lunar meteorite that had hit the Antarctica Allen Hills region of Victoria Land. Okay, about a million year ago. Now, what is geography that we need to understand? This is the normal uh, news, general studies news. Now, this is the geographical news where the Antarctica region and where are these Victoria Land. Okay, so let's go in detail. So this is the Antarctica Allen Hills region. So Allen Hills is an ice-free 22-kilometer long Nunatak complex in South Victoria Land, Antarctica. Okay, so this is the Victoria Land. I sorry, it is hidden behind my photo. So this is the Victoria Land, and this is the Southern Victoria Land. Okay, this Allen Hills Blue Ice area features some of the oldest continuous ice record on the planet. So this region is important for the paleoclimatic evidences that is well preserved under the millions year old of ice sheet. Okay, now the Martian meteorite, perhaps most famous of the artifact, which crashed on the earth around 13,000 years ago. Okay, the region exposes the Leschi formation, a Gondwana era geological sequence containing exceptionally preserved Triassic and Permian plant fossils and per mineralized wood. Okay, so this is important. This is the concept that we need to understand. What is Leschi formation? So what is Leschi formation? It is actually time bound, now fossils form, and it is preserved from the Triassic and Permian times, and it is actually a plant fossils and the wood that has been mineralized over the time, and this formation is known as the Leslie formation. Okay, by studying these Leslie formation we get the information about the paleoclimatic history of India. Okay, so this is the region that we need to understand in general. So this is the Antarctica. Here we have the Davis Sea. Okay. Here we have the Ross Sea. Okay. And somewhere here we have the India's station, Antarctica station, known as the Maitri. And here the region is known as the South Dakshin Gangotri or South Gangotri, known as the South Gangotri region, glacier, or you can say. Okay. So this is the Weldal Sea here. This is the Weldal Sea. Okay. This is linked to the Drake. This is the Drake's passage. Here we have started with the southern tip of the South America. Okay. Now this Dakshin Gangotri Glacier, Maitri Antarctica. This is India's. You can see. Okay. So next point is Amarnath Yatra security boost. So government has initiated important steps, that is to ensure the safe and comfortable journey for all the pilgrims going to the Amarnath cave. Okay, so they have started giving the QR based IDs to pony operators. They have conducted the fire audits. Okay, and they have declared all routes to Sri Amarnath Yatra, including both the Pahalgam and Baltar access, as a no flying zone. Okay, so if there is no flying zone, so there will be no operational uh, helicopter services to the pilgrims. Okay, so if I say, uh, this is the map. This is Srinagar. This is Kargil. Okay, somewhere here we have the Amarnath cave. Okay, so either we will go like this. This is somewhere here is the Pahalgam. This is one of the route, and then there is this route. Okay, Baltal. These are the two axes that is being talk about, the Pahalgam and the Baltar. So Baltar route is near the Zojila tunnel. So Zojila tunnel is here. This is the Zojila tunnel. Just below here we have the Baltar region. This is the route, and then this is the route. This is the Pahalgam route. Okay, so no flying zone has been declared on these two routes. Now, what are the rivers around the Amarnath Cave Temple? So, important river is Amravati River. The small river flows right past the Amarnath cave. So this is the Amarnath cave. This is the Amarnath glacier. This is the small river. This is the Amaravati river. Okay. It mixes with the Panchdarni river at a spot called Sangam. Okay. Now, Lidar River, this is important. This river runs along the traditional Pahalgam route. The trail from the Pahalgam to Chandanwari follow its rushing and ice cold water. That's why there is so many rafting camps are there along this Pahalgam, Srinagar, Pahalgam to Chandanwari route. So, where is Pahalgam? This is Pahalgam, and this is Chandanwadi, and this is the river known as the Lidar River. Okay. Now there is another Sindh river. This major river flows near the Baltal base camp on the shorter trek route. So where is Baltal? So this is Srinagar. See, either you can go Srinagar to Pahalgam and then you can go Chandanbadi and then you can go to the this route, or you can go shorter route Baltal and then from here you go to the this river. Now this route is shorter, but this is the very tough, steep rise. Okay, जिसे कहते हैं हम लोग हिंदी में खड़ी चढ़ाई है. So that's why people prefer this route. And nowadays some young people can also go by the this route only. Okay, so Sindh River is there here. Okay. Now what are the important glaciers around? So we have the Amarnath Glacier. Just so this is the shrine. If this is the shrine, this is the Shivling, if I say. So this is the Amarnath Glacier. Then we have the Machoi Glacier. So this is the Zojila Pass. I can make this is the Zojila Tunnel. Here we have the Machoi Glacier. Okay. Then we have the Thajivas Glacier. It is located northwest to the cave near Sonmarg. Okay. So here we have the. So now this is if I say little bit more large. This is the Thajivas Glacier. Now we have the Kolahoy Glacier. It is here. Here we have the Kolahoy Glacier. Okay, so these are the four important glaciers. Those are around the Amarnath cave. Okay. Now there is one important wildlife sanctuary near the Pahalgam region, just on the north of the tip of the Pahalgam, and it is it is intersected by the Lidar River. Okay, it comes in the Anantnag district because Pahalgam is in the Anantnag district. So this is Anantnag district. It is located on the periphery of the two villages Overa and Aru. Okay, it is a catchment area of Lidar River. Okay, somewhere it is A, somewhere it is E, so it doesn't matter. A tributary of Jhelum River. Overa Aru Wildlife Sanctuary lies within the distributional range of the critically endangered Kashmiri stag or hangur. Okay, now this is important. Okay, other important flora and fauna is Egyptian vulture is found here, and the Kashmiri flycatcher is also found here. So this is the region. This is the Overa Aru Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay, so if you can see, this is the Pahalgam. Okay, this area, this is the Overa Aru Wildlife Sanctuary. It can be asked in the exam. Okay, okay, this is the Kolahoy Glacier that I have told. This is the Kolahoy Glacier. Kolahoy Glacier. This is the Dachigam National Park. Okay, this is the Amarnath Glacier. Okay, now this route, this is the river, Lidar River here. This is the Chandanbadi. Okay, this is the Amarnath cave. Now other route is the Baltal route is comes like this, and this route is like this. These are the important regions around the Amarnath cave. Okay. Now World Environment Day was celebrated on the 5th of June. Okay. So official theme inspired by nature for climate and for our future. Okay, this was the official theme. Okay, now the global host country was the Azerbaijan. Okay, so many events were organized by different World Environment Day by the UNEP and the host country as well, Azerbaijan in the its capital Baku. Okay, now in the Baku there was another important 13th session of the World Urban Forum in May. It was also held in the बाकू एंड वर्ल्ड अर्बन फोरम कौन करता है यूएन हैबिटेट यूएन हैबिटेट so now baku is important because two very important uh, things are attached to it now it is the host country and the host capital of world environment day and the world urban forum 13th session of the world urban forum uh, held in partnership with the un habitat was also conducted in the Baku. Okay, so that's why I have mentioned it as well. Okay, so next point is now look at the geography of the Azerbaijan. Now Azerbaijan is very small country, but it has nine climatic classification regions as per the Köppen. So it means it must have all kind of weather and all kind of geography in this small region. So this is the Azerbaijan. Okay, so quickly look at the boundary nation. This is the Azerbaijan. Okay, and then this is the exclave of Azerbaijan. So which are the countries that makes it total? So this is Russia, Georgia, Armenia. This is Iran, and then this exclave here. If I zoom it out, the exclave is like this. So this portion, a small portion, is also touched by the Turkey. Okay, so this is the Nakshivian exclave, this region. Okay, now what are the mountains? Important mountains here is in the northern part we have the Greater Caucasus mountain, this region. Okay, then we have the Lesser Caucasian mountain is the in the western part. Then in the southern part it is actually covered by by my this photo. Here we have the Talis mountain. Sometimes it is known as the Talis or sometimes it is known as the Talis mountain. It is in the southern part or the southern eastern part of the Azerbaijan bordering Iran. Okay, so it is and in the middle of it we have the depression. Uh, okay, and in those depression there is Kura river is flowed. Okay, here we have the Baku region, and in the eastern part, this region, we have lots of volcanoes, mud volcanoes, and Azerbaijan is very much rich by the natural gas. Okay, so in one of the natural gas source, it has the continuous continuous fire or a flare of the fire. That's why this region is known as the land of fire as well. Okay, so tallest peak is here, this in the Greater Caucasus. It is highest peak is known as the Mount Duzu. Okay, around 4.5 kilometers high. Okay, so this is about the mountains here. Now rivers. So this is the Kura River. This is important, and we have the Aras River meeting here. This is the depression here. These area. Okay. Now this is the important lake. So Caspian Sea, you can see also can say lake. This is the Ming Xavier Reservoir, known as the Ming Xavier Reservoir. Okay, so these are the important three rivers. Okay, now this Kura river actually starts, if I make this country, so this is the Armenia, this is Azerbaijan, this is Turkey. Okay, so it starts from Turkey, passes through Armenia, then it flows just middle from the Azerbaijan. This is the Kura river, and this is the Aras river. Okay, nothing is important else. This is the Baku, this is Baja Duji, highest peak. Okay, Lesser Caucasus, Greater Caucasus. In between these two we have the depression, and or you can say syncline, anticline. So this here we have the Kura Aros lowland. Okay, this area is famous for the eastern area famous for the mud volcanoes. Now the mud volcanoes, Azerbaijan is the bird capital for the mud volcano. Okay, so in whole world around 700 mud volcanoes are found in whole world. I am talking 700 ऑल ओवर वर्ल्ड में पाए जाते हैं, और 300 से ज़्यादा अराउंड केवल किसमें पाए जाते हैं, इन Azerbaijan. Okay, so in what is mud volcano? It is actually due to the pressure, inside pressure built up by the gas trapped, and when the gas trapped, it actually pushes the uh, pushes the material in the upper lithosphere, and due to the pressure they just melt, all the stone melts and they become the shaggy molten very liquid type of not lava, mud comes out from the volcano. Okay, so this is the mud volcano. Okay, so this is the region. Okay, Gobustan region. Okay, here we have the mud volcano. Okay, now here you will have the fire mountains. Okay, so here the gas is still very deep, and what comes out, the upper part of the mud. Okay, here the gas is directly able to comes out, and then with the when it meets the oxygen or the air, it will just fire up. So this is the region of fire mountains. Okay, that's why this region is known as the land of fire. So this is the physical topography map of the uh, uh, Azerbaijan. So very quickly, this is the Greater Caucasus, this is the Lesser Caucasus, this is the Talis range. Okay, this is the Kura river. Here we have the Aras river meeting it. Okay, here we have the Baku, and then here we have the this region is known for the mud volcanoes. Okay, now the uh, next topic is about the Nilgiri Thar population rises to 13,164, 4.68% rise. Okay, so Nilgiri Thar was important. Nilgiri Thar was important. Okay, all. So what is the habitat of Nilgiri Thar? It is actually the endemic only to the Western Ghat, but specifically found in the regions of Kerala and Tamil Nadu. It is a high altitude goat, and in the high altitude when there is a grassland and the rocky cliff, you find the Nilgiri Thar. Okay, and special trees, they live near tiny patches of the stunted tropical forest known as solas. Okay, best place to see them is Erva Erviculam National Park in Kerala. Okay, So what we need to learn, they are found near the stunted tropical forest named known as solas, is endemic to the Western Ghat, especially concentrated in the regions of Kerala and Tamil Nadu. And now the important site that you can find the largest group lives in the Ernakulam National Park in Kerala. Okay. Now, what are the threats level? It is known as the it is listed as a endangered species. Okay, and threat is generally most anthropogenic and sometimes hunting, and most important is shifting of the forest and to the farming and the plantation, and also the deforestation. Okay, sometimes the forest fires also. Now the good news is uh, in 2026. Okay, in Tamil Nadu's Nilgiri Tar population grew to 13,164 individuals. And why? Because they have initiated a project to protect this mountainous growth under the Project Nilgiri Thar. Okay, so under Project Nilgiri Thar, what they have done, they have actually make the they have actually followed the footstep of the project tiger, and what are the techniques they have applied in case of tiger. they try to uh, uh, they try to copy the same techniques to count the numbers of Nilgiri Thar, and as well as the techniques and the methodology to protect the habitat of Nilgiri Thar. Okay, so project Nilgiri Thar is under Tamil Nadu Forest Department. Okay, budget of 25 crore, 5-year project that was run from the 2022 to 2027 to protect, study and increase the population of this mountainous goat. Okay, now that this is the core distribution zone. Okay, now this is important. Okay, so what are the important four regions that where they are found? First, Ernakulam National Park in Kerala. So where is Ernakulam National Park? So this is the region. This is the Ernakulam National Park. Okay. Next is Mukurthi National Park in Tamil Nadu. Where is Mukurthi National Park? Here. This is red line is the border. This is the Mukurthi National Park. This is in Tamil Nadu. Then we will have the Annamalai Hills, including Grass Hills National Park. So where is Nilgiri Grass Hill National Park? Okay, so I think they have, and then we have the Annamalai Hills. So somewhere down the line, it is hidden behind my photo. So you will find it here. Okay. I think in the next slide I have already mentioned it. Okay, now this is, so here we have the Mukurti National Park is here. This is the Silent Valley National Park. Okay. Here we have Nilgiri Forest Division. This is the Coimbatore Forest Division. We have Parambukulam Tiger Reserve here. Okay, Annamalai Tiger Reserve here. Here we have Ernakulam National Park. Okay, then we have the Thani Forest Division. This is Srivilputtur and Megamannapulam, Megamalai Tiger Reserve. Sorry, Srivilputtur and Megamalai Tiger Reserve. Then we have Trivandrum Forest Division. Okay, so these are the regions where they are found. Okay, this is Bambinat Lake. Now this is important also. US sent Iranian national to the Central African Republic. Now these Iranian national has applied for the asylum. They couldn't get the certificate of the asylum. Okay, and the much greater protection as they would have get if their asylum request has been approved. But they have been granted by the by the judge, by the justice system. There, they are known as the they are giving the protection and withholding of the removal, means uh, they are giving the protection in by the American judicial system, that you cannot remove these Iranian national outside of American soil. Okay, but America actually shifted them from US to the Central African Republic by making a treaty with the Central African Republic by saying that you will adopt uh, our asylum seekers or the people that I will send to you. Okay. Now this is the one aspect. Second aspect, for the general public, there is American advisory already in place, and do not travel to the it says do not travel to the Central African Republic for any reason. Okay, why? Because Central African region is impoverished and violence wrecked nation. Okay, so actually Central African Republic is actually there is a civil war going on since 2013 14. Okay, between earlier it was Muslim dominated country, sorry, Muslim dominated group that has been that has captured the regime, and they have been now uh, protested by the Christian dominated militia. Okay, so it is essentially now the Muslim versus Christian civil war going on. So what is now look at the geography of the Central African Republic. So Central African Republic, as we know, it is inside the it is the landlocked. First it is the landlocked country. Okay, you cannot see any sea outside and near the border. So it is in the north it is Chad, and then we have the Sudan, then we have the South Sudan, then we have the DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. Okay, we have Cameroon here, and then we have the Republic of Congo. Okay, so these are the five countries, actually six countries. They are bordering the Central African Republic. Okay, now what are the important rivers there? So important rivers is Ubangi River. This is the Ubangi River. Okay, so this is the Ubangi River. Okay, so this Ubangi River is actually made the two-third of the whole catchment area of Central African Republic. Now this region is the ridge. Here you have the ridge. Okay, so all the rivers that will flow from this side, it will go to the Ubangi River, and then Ubangi River will meet to the Congo River. So actually it comes with, in larger sense, it comes under the Congo River basin. In the upper side, this side, we have the Chari River. We have the Chari River. Chari River. Chari River will go up to the north side, and then it will meet with the Chad Lake. Okay. So this is the geography. This is the river divide of the Central African Republic. Now, important point here is due to these two rivers, when the French colonized this area, they named this area as the Owangi Chari. Okay, so this is the ridge there. Upper portion we have the Chari River, and the lower portion we have the Owangi River. Okay, and its tributary. Okay, so what are the important tributaries of Congo? This Owangi River. So Owangi River is made from the now. This is the Owangi River. This is the Owangi River. Okay, so this figure is actually a figure that I have taken from the Lake Chad replenishment. Okay, project, or you can say in general term it is a Trans Aqua Trans Aqua project for Sahel region. So what is going on? this lake chart region is now reducing year by year in a decade. Okay, so it has like the Dead Sea or the Ural Sea. We have this another lake that is dying. Okay, so around 33,000 years before, it has the size of around whole UK. In 70s, from 1970s to 2026, it has reduced by more than 50%. Okay, so what they are planning that the excess amount of the Congo River basin water, it if it can be transferred, if it can be transported to the Lake Chad. So what they are doing this Ubangi River. They are pumping here because you can see pumping the water from the Ubangi, and then they are connecting it with the one of the tributary of the Chari river. Okay, and then it will go to the Lake Chad river. So this is the concept. This is what they are trying to achieve. But I don't know how much successful it is, because the whole project is going through the region which is under almost lawless region. Okay, so this is the Lake Chad. Question can be asked about the Lake Chad. Lake Chad is in the Nigeria, Chad, Niger, in these countries. Okay, so Lake Chari River is actually started from the Central African Republic north part, and then goes into the Lake Chad. And this is the Lake Owangi. Okay, Lake Owangi is made from the two different tributary, Uli River, UELE, and the Bommu River. Okay, these two rivers meet with each other and make the Ubangi river. Okay, so remember Ubangi Chari, Chari in the north, Ubangi in the south. Ubangi is made the border between Demo Republic and DRC and the Central African Republic, and after that Republic of Congo, and then the Democratic Republic of Congo. Okay, and they are also trying to link this whole linking to the Lake Kivu as well. So Lake Kivu is also in the eastern side. Okay, so if you can see this. This is the Lake Kivu, small. Okay, this is Lake Tanganyika. So this is Lake Tanganyika. Lake Tanganyika. We have here we have the Lake Kivu. Okay, then in upper part. Okay, Lake Elf, Lake Albert, Alfred. These two lake. Okay, and in the midst here we have the Lake Chart. This is the Lake Chart. What they are doing, they are joining the Lake Kivu. Okay, by the tunnel here. This is the tunnel from Lake Kivu to tunnel this. Okay, here we have the ridge. Okay, then this tunnel will go to the inside this. So this is the tunnel and this is the tunnel. So this is Lake Kivu. Water will flow like this. Okay, and here we have the, this is the Congo River. Okay, here we have the Ubangi River, and here we have the Chari River. This is the Chari River, Ubangi River, Congo River. Okay, this is what we need to understand. Lake Chad, Chari River, Lake Kivu, Lake Tanganyika नीचे. Then we have a Congo River, Ubangi River. Okay, so Lake Chad is again Niger, Chad, and Nigeria. Okay, so this is all about today's lecture. Okay, so keep watching all the important points that I have been telling you. And if you watch this lecture every week and make a notes, make half a page notes out of all the news that I am giving you, and keep practicing the mapping of these things. See, with the time the next prelims will come, what will happen, we will keep on repeating the mapping of the same place or the area around the same, and able to link them. Okay, see, in the May month I have discussed the Chenab river. Today I have discussed the upper portion of the Chenab. Okay, I have also discussed this railway bridge on the Chenab. So I have discussed the railway bridge of the Chenab. I have discussed the Kashmir region. Then I have discussed the uh, Sirong river on in the Kargil region. In the west of the Kargil, or in that region, we have the Zojila tunnel that I have discussed today. So we have discussed slowly. We will discuss all the regions of all important point, that will be covered in the news. So we will be able to do all the questions related to the geography, and otherwise also related to the current affair, if you continue to follow this channel. See, UPSC paper is not unpredictable. It demands the consistency, and your preparation should be linked to the newspaper and the government website. That's what I am doing here. I don't do AI much. I don't do all the gimmick in the video, because what is important for a sincere aspirant, what they want to have the knowledge and the content that can help them in clearing the prelims, and that can help him writing the good answer. That is what is my perspective. So keep watching my videos and do support the channel. Thank you.